What's good, YouTube? It's your boy TSO Sage, and I'm back with another video. If there was one team who deserves where they're ranked right now, it's for sure the San Antonio Spurs. But it wasn't too long ago that the Spurs were either a 1 seed, a 2 seed, or a 3 seed for majority of the past 2 decades. So now why am I saying they deserve to be the 10 seed? Well, let's find out. So without further ado, if you guys like the video, don't forget to like the video and let's get right to it. So you know how when people hear Cleveland, they think of LeBron James? The fact that when people hear Spurs, they think of the organization, and they're such a good organization, they run things well. Or even in, let me not be too disrespectful here, but Greg Popovich, and they don't think of Tim Duncan is crazy. I'm not about to sit on this mic and talk about Tim Duncan being underrated or anything. Most people have him in their top 5, if not between the 6 to 8 range. He's not underrated. But I do feel most people overlook or underappreciate his impact on the franchise. I'm not saying the Spurs are run badly or anything, but they certainly aren't this prestigious S tier, oh my god, they're great now, then and forever type franchise. Like, that's not them at all. That was Tim Duncan. And even if you disagree, for me at least, the thing that sealed that in my mind the most is when Kawhi Leonard left. Yes, his injury played a major factor in this because the team was treating him like he was faking injury, which, by the way, I don't want to sit here and apologize or defend Kawhi Leonard for too long here, but even if the doctors say I'm okay, if I feel like something's wrong, nigga, I'm not playing. Literally, it's my body. If I don't think I can play, guess what's going to happen? I'm not gonna fucking play. And obviously, a lot of people telling Kawhi Leonard that he's fine and he should play anyway, for sure played a factor. But if you think for a second the retirement of Tim Duncan had nothing to do with anything, you're insane. But honestly, and I know you guys were thinking it, it's not just the fact that Tim Duncan and Kawhi Leonard, regardless of how, left the franchise. It's the fact that you rode the big 3 for as long as you could. When that time expired, you had Kawhi Leonard, fumbled the bag with him wanting to be there, but guess what? You still were going to trade him. And considering you were going to trade him at the summer of 2018, by 2021, you would expect the Spurs to be back on timing. And that's the issue right there. Let me start it off like this, and you can go to the pinned comments if you want to help prove the point. Who is the better player between the following 3? Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Brandon Ingram, or DeMar DeRozan? The fact that you can say any of those 3 names and not be deemed just stupid, except by those people who think if you don't agree with me, then you're just an idiot. Like those niggas, it's not only a problem, it's the problem. Hell, even Houston down terrible ass can be an example here. If Woj tweeted out that James Harden was traded for 2 players and 1 first-round pick, you would think, well, James Harden's a Sixer. Because the only thing you could fathom is a guy like Ben Simmons was traded. A 24-year-old 6'10" point guard with sky-high potential. Hell, even though I'm gonna be on their ass in a different video, at least they got a bunch of first-round picks for James Harden in real life. Let alone what the Pelicans got for AD, what the Clippers got for playoff P, hell, even what the Bulls got for Jimmy Butler. Like, yo, how did the Spurs do this so terribly? Unless you're about to tell me as Spurs fans that when you got Jakob, you was like, bet, that's our future center, potential all-star. Or you thought highly of the Toronto Raptors' protected first-round pick. How the hell do you trade Kawhi Leonard and a pick is protected? Or that you genuinely thought during the Super Warriors era,
oh, well, watch DeMar DeRozan and Greg Popovich do it to the Warriors, you know, Spurs in 7.
Then 1, I'm concerned for your health every day, and 2, no, you were wrong. Most of you understand what I'm saying by now, but in case you don't, and I just want to say it in 4K anyway, how did the Spurs trade Kawhi Leonard and it essentially not be able to help them in the present nor future? I know for a fact people compare Kawhi, AD, and James Harden all the time. The fact that the Anthony Davis trade and even the James Harden trade curb stomps the Kawhi trade is crazy. Hell, even championship contending teams, if they could choose right now to acquire DeMar DeRozan or potentially 8 first-round draft picks, I'm the guy who wanted THT to pack up, but damn, that's 8 first-round draft picks. And even if we severely downplay the impact of Kawhi Leonard, Paul George and Jimmy Butler getting better assets too? I know for a fact some of you probably already typed this, so let me go ahead and say it.
Oh, well, Paul George was a situation of the Clippers. They really would have.
I know, bro, I know. It's just not the point, though, and even then, Jimmy Butler, I know Zach LaVine wasn't near the Zach LaVine he is today, but to be honest, you could even argue if they just gave the Spurs pick number 7 somehow, that is better than DeMar DeRozan and Jakob in a late first, let alone with 2 young guards like Zach LaVine and Chris Dunn, even though Chris Dunn sucks now, but who cares? So you already lose Tim Duncan due to age, you mess up the Kawhi Leonard situation big time, you pissed him and his uncle Ben off, like, okay, but then you go on to, and even though they are improving at it, still playing this grandfather basketball. Like, when I say getting better at it, I mean they're getting more creative. DeMar DeRozan, who again we'll get to in a minute, has become a better playmaker, and it's like every fucking body's going for a putback on the roster, so that's just some funny shit. They are fun to watch, and defensively they're fun too. They almost trap every play and they play with a lot of energy, but as you can see, it doesn't lead to results, and I still still refer to it as grandfathered. It's like nobody outside of Derek White shoots a three unless they have to shoot the three, like they're wide open or the shot clock's running down. Oh, and Patty Mills, but Patty Mills been letting that bitch fly. And then defensively, yes, they do run the trap all the time, which in my opinion is fun to watch, but every now and then someone is wide ass open and hits a three. They need to value that three-point shot a lot more than they do, and even though they're coming around to it, there's still such a long way to go, it isn't even funny. So with all that being said, how do they fix this? And this is gonna sound crazy to some and facts to other, but Greg, it's time, bro, you gotta go. And I'm not going the route of Greg Popovich is ignorant, and I'm damn well not saying he's a bad coach. One of the greatest coaches to ever do it. But when I look at Greg Popovich, I don't look at him as development. He's not gonna have a bad team, but play them in a way that over time they'll get better. He's just gonna mask up what they do badly and make them play the best they can right now. And honestly, my best example of this is the better players that he's coached. David Robinson, who would be perfect in today's game, by the way, yes, was a great center, but he wasn't necessarily doing things most centers weren't asked to do. He just did those things really well. Defensively, you're anchored in the paint and you're not letting shit fly. Offensively, you're gonna catch the ball, you're gonna get on that low block. It's nice if you have a jump shot, and you're gonna use your strength to consistently get inside and therefore open up the offense for everyone else. Like David Robinson, in terms of a talent, was definitely special, no question. But in terms of how he played next to Pop, especially for the 90s, it was like a system center at his absolute peak. And that's my point. The same especially goes to Tim Duncan, who in my opinion is the best system player of all time. And I'm pretty sure we all agree on, for the love of God, his nickname is Mr. Fundamentals. Still not sold okay in terms of how Manu Ginobili played. Is he not the definition of a six man? And if you're not gonna give me any of those three, cool, but you're damn well gonna give me Kawhi Leonard, who was so quickly viewed as one of the best two-way wings of all time. All everybody wants nowadays is a good two-way wing. Pop is an amazing coach. And if Greg Popovich is your coach, it's a good chance your team plays basketball at its best, and therefore you win more games than you likely would. And yes, that includes a three-point offense. If Pop had Steph Curry, they're shooting threes. But to wrap up the Pop needs to go thing, even though your team's gonna play better, Pop's not gonna make individual players better. Yes, guys like DeJounte Murray and Derek White have gotten better for the sheer fact they've been in the league longer, but I think that improvement is just from a production standpoint, because as I just said, they've been in the league longer. They're playing basketball better. I just think Pop is a little too competitive for what the Spurs need right now. Now that I think about it, he for sure was a part of the, oh, don't trade Kawhi in the West thing. I know some of you are bound to disagree with that, and definitely debate in the comments below, but that's just how I feel about the situation. This has gone on long enough. Let me talk about what I think the Spurs need to do. I hate to say it, but it's just one thing, honestly. Tank your fucking ass off. You already missed out on trading LaMarcus Aldridge, which, by the way, thank you, Aldridge. It's a good chance you miss out on Rudy Gay, because who's gonna trade for Rudy Gay nowadays? You might be able to get a couple seconds for Patty Mills, but they're both expiring deals, and considering what you could at best get back for either of them, you just let them walk. You missed. DeMar DeRozan, you definitely sign and trade though. DeMar has made great strides as a playmaker. He's actually become a decent defender, and he's arguably playing his most efficient basketball as well, with back-to-back seasons being career high in true shooting. Even though he's not necessarily hitting the three, clear improvement in shot selection, and he's averaging 7 assists on basically 2 turnovers. It won't be a haul or anything, but you can get a good first or two for DeMar. And honestly, due to his age, same goes for Derek White. And I think the only person you don't move no matter what is DeJounte Murray, because Pop done made him able to do every fucking thing. Dude's giving you 15, 7, and 7, can play all NBA defense as well. Really, he can play in any system, he just has to work on that jump shot. And considering that contract, yeah, you keep him because duh. But other than him, even all the young talent on the team that I know some Spurs fans love, like Lonnie Walker or Keldon Johnson, if the name isn't DeJounte Murray, at any point in time, they can get traded. Because day by day, I'm more and more getting to the point that in the Western Conference, if you don't have that guy, not only can you not make the finals, you ain't gonna make the playoffs. And the Spurs damn well don't have that guy. I think the worst thing they can do right now is try to make a play in free agency and try to compete with DeMar. Yay! No, just hit the reset button. You fucked up, and realize you may even need a culture change, but you have a lot of work to do, so you might as well just be patient. But that's gonna do it for today's video. It's been your boy TSO Sage. If you guys like the video, like the video. If you like my content, subscribe. Why the fuck you watching my shit and you're not subscribed? And it's been your boy TSO Sage. I'ma holla at y'all tomorrow. Take care and stay blessed.
It's young Phenom, yeah, I got the cannon. If a nigga talk too much, I gotta blame him. I wonder where the hate come from. Gotta be a dum-dum undercover someone. You one of my children. Is it the paper, the moolah, the haters, the rumors, the leaked news of me and your shorty in Kama Sutra? I might just shoot you. Guns blazing, my little Ruger. It's not a blooper. In the Honda, I just maneuver. Italian spot where they serve my fettuccine. Make sure my linguine super steamy and not too creamy. Toasty panini, couple bites of tortellini. I'm feeling dreamy. Phone buzzing, she wanna see me. On my way to to the bitty, you know the vibe, bro. My drip is hydro, big waves up in my Tado. I'm in a Tahoe, big body Uber on time home. While me and my driver talking bullshit, smoking tobacco.